Hello, it's Andrew here from Always Andrew Wedding Design, and I'm back for another instalment of my A to Z of wedding planning. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a little bit sniffly. I think I'm still getting over this winter cold that I know me and lots of others have had at the moment. I suppose it's the time of the year, and it feels a bit weird doing this in the dark, so with my very bright lights in my office, so sorry if there's lots of reflection. But yeah, so it's Andrew from Always Andrew Wedding Design. And today I wanted to carry on talking to you about stationery. So I'm on S I'm on my A to Z of wedding planning, and we're up to S. So I want to have a quick chat with you about stationery. Now, stationery is a big topic, and I suspect if I was a stationer, I'd be doing an A to Z of stationery all on its own. Hi Elizabetta, thank you for joining me today. Yeah, so I'm just going to give you some quite quick tips. Oh, we've got Valentina as well. Hello. Ooh, 2 live viewers, it's always nice. Yeah, so as I was saying, so stationery is quite a big topic. You could probably break it down into its own little A to Z. So I'm just going to kind of give you a quick overview and some sort of quick tips to keep in mind when you're thinking about your sort of stationery needs for your wedding day. I'm mainly thinking kind of invitations, so we'll begin with sort of at the beginning really with your invitation suite. So first and foremost, there are so many options out there now, from very kind of bespoke designed pieces where literally everything is designed for you from start to finish, your own design, won't have seen it before, right up to kind of digital options, paperless options, so you can go have everything completely online. There's some really great companies out there now doing sort of very digital paperless options if you want to go down the eco route. So really kind of look and research what it is that you want from your invitation suite. And also I think your invitation suite can very much tie in with what is your wedding style. So really think, what kind of wedding are you having, what's the vibe, what kind of look are you going for? Because what's the beauty of stationery, and I think many wedding planners will tell you this, and what we all love about wedding stationery, is that it can really help personalise your wedding day. There's lots you can do with it in terms of setting the tone for your wedding, really kind of creating the right kind of feel and atmosphere for the kind of wedding you're going to have. So for a very traditional one, you might want to go very kind of beautiful thick cardstock, lovely kind of letterpress designs, but maybe if you're having something a bit more relaxed, you can go a bit more fun, a bit more creative with the kind of fonts you choose, the kind of imagery and sort of artwork you might choose for it. So I think that's what's quite beautiful about your stationery. You can really go to town with it. So just really do your research, look at what all the options are out there, and think about kind of what the costs and budgets you've got. Even just think a greeting card, for a nice beautiful birthday card you might buy for someone, is going to cost you anywhere up to sort of £3-4 these days. So if you imagine your invitation suite and you're sending that out to multiples, I think that's quite a good way of thinking about how much you're going to need to sort of budget and allocate for your invitation suite. I think it's very rare now you find a £1 birthday card, so don't necessarily think you're going to find a £1 invitation, especially when there's a lot more work goes into it. So do have a little think about that. When you're coming to the wording of your invitation, as I said, what the wording you choose can be very relevant. There's so many options out there. There's a bit of a kind of etiquette minefield, I think, when it comes to invitations. More so if you're going down the very traditional route, there's a kind of particular wording you want to think of. So I think that's really important. Do look online. There's lots of really great guides in terms of what kind of wording for, depending on what your kind of situation is, who's hosting it, who's not hosting it, that sort of thing. So look online to help what you need to put the wording. On the invitation itself, I would kind of keep it to the minimum, the essentials. If you have got lots of additional information, then put that in as a separate additional info card. And also what works really well now is wedding websites. These work really well for kind of keeping track of, great for RSVPs, your guests can just kind of go straight online to reply. And also I think they're quite good for, like, if you're doing lots of additional events around the wedding party, you can give your guests a little bit of background about you both, a few photographs. There's all sorts of fun things that you can do with wedding websites now. There's so again, research, see what's out there. There's some really great options I've seen and we've used for some of our clients in the past. So when you're coming to your numbers, just quickly think about, you don't want to need to allocate one per person. You can do it one per household, so that's quite a good way of sort of saving a little bit there. But then at the same time, I would always order extra, because just in case, it's always better to order your invitation suite all in one go rather than kind of adding on. So you do need to kind of, don't think you have to every single guest, but do order extra. And then also kind of finally just think about what kind of additional stationery needs you're going to have, as well as for your invitation suite. You might want to consider your kind of thank you cards. Can you pre-order those at the same time? It's always good to get a little job out of the way. And then what kind of stationery elements you're going to need on the day. Do you need order of service, or are you going to do something more like signage? Like big signage works quite nice for that. Or you could even do sort of blackboards, or someone come in and like write something, calligraphy something onto something at the venue. Menus, does your venue provide them, or do you need to order menus? Again, place cards, are you having place cards? Do you need them? Do you need to think about ordering those? Things like place numbers, again, do you need to, if you're having a formal table plan, how the guests are going to find themselves, a table plan, or are you going to go down the escort card route? And then think about all the table numbers on your tables themselves. And then finally, any kind of little extras. It's always quite nice to think about I'm a big fan of signage, directing guests, signs for the bars, if you're having like a photo booth or anything fun like that, gift table. There's lots of kind of little extras that are quite nice to think about. Have a little think, chat to your stationer whether it's worth ordering any of those at the same time as your invitation suite, or when they will need to have those, when you need to order those. So it's worth kind of bearing that in mind. And then finally, in terms of the invitation suite, you might want to consider putting a stamp on your RSVP. A bit more encourages guests to get back to you. And then don't forget to weigh your invitation before you send it off, because if you are putting like extra additional information in there with the invitation suite, do weigh it so you can check you're using the right stamp for it, because you don't want it being sent back. Because they can be, if you've got really good quality cards and lots of little extras, they can really add up. So we've got a little comment. Amanda says, love signage at weddings, great little details. I'm a big fan of extra signage at weddings. And like I say, I think all your stationery elements can really kind of add extra details to your guests. And I think why signage works so well, not only does it really personalise your guests, but you're constantly keeping your guests informed and they know what's going on. And I think that's why that works really well. So hopefully all those little quick details, like I said, stationery is quite a big topic and there's lots of options that you can do there, but hopefully that's given you a nice little taster, a few tips of things you need to think about. I think I may have written a blog post on this one, so I'll try digging it out and post it onto this below. But yeah, if you have any other questions or anything, remember, don't be afraid to ask. I'm always around, and then I'll be back next week with carrying on with my tips. And that's me for now. Take care.